Hello and welcome to Banking Frontiers Live, to this exciting series of technology trendsetters. With me today, I am going to introduce you to an interesting luminary from the insurance sector, and he is Mr. Dipak Nair, who is the Chief Technology Officer of Tata AIG General Insurance Company. Dipak, welcome to Banking Frontiers Live Technology Trendsetters series.
Thanks, Babu. It's always a pleasure interacting with you.
So, Deepak, which are those key areas and key technologies in which you have been seeing technology trends and been the movers and shakers in this technology?
Transformation, if I have to draw a parallel, it's not just cosmetic changes. It's not just creating an app or creating a portal and doing a go-to-market. Definitely that is needed, but transformation is transforming the inside as well. So right from our UI UX to the web presence, to the mobile presence, to the backend processes, product innovation, it has been a 360-degree transformation for Tata AIG in the last 5-6 years, if I can say, with multiple things happening on the technology front, right? And we categorized most of the things into 3 categories, rather: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The yesterday category for us is catching up on what others have already done. And I'm happy to say that we have done that phase, and now we are at par with anybody in the market globally. Second part is the today part, wherein you're talking of digital, where you're talking of the technologies that all these new age fintechs and digitechs, the insurtechs are all bringing in. What is there in the consumer market, so all of that is the today part of the technology. And that is a parallel set of project and priorities that keep running. So revamping the front end, for example, the whole architecture on the cloud first, mobile first, microservices, everything is in that category. And then comes the tomorrow category of work, where you're looking at future, you're looking at futuristic things. What will change tomorrow? What kind of products would be relevant for the market of tomorrow, for tomorrow's customers? How do I cater to this segment of customers who are my future customers? At the same time, technology is also evolving. Driverless cars, how will that impact the insurance? There is metaverse which is coming. How will that impact our businesses? The cryptocurrency market is there, and there are many trends on technology which are coming. That's the tomorrow category of work. If we don't work on that today, we are going to lag behind. So that has been the strategy for Tata AIG.
Interesting. So how are you working on the infrastructure of tomorrow part of it?
Democratization of the entire cloud will happen. It is happening. And now that we are more and more, I can say enterprises are moving on to it, understanding it, having experience on it. That is going to be the future. The traditional databases was the new age database. Again, that is getting democratized. And platforms are taking over rather than, the brick and mortar models of infrastructure management. Same thing is happening on the network side also. Like bring your own network, the SD-WAN. So if you look at it, the infrastructure, the enterprise infrastructure will mimic the consumer side of the infrastructure going ahead. And that's where the trend is moving. And platforms are becoming more open, and a lot of movement is going from infrastructure as a service into platform as a service. That also is a trend that I'm seeing. And we are ourselves using more platforms now than what we used to do 2 years back.
Wonderful. So what kind of ecosystems do you see coming into your business into the future?
So ecosystems are already coming. Right, we are not an industry that works in isolation. We work with a host of partners. There have been partnerships where we have developed a product using somebody's capability, especially in the telematics part. So we launched a usage-based insurance for motor insurance, which is pay as you drive, which comes with a telematics device. Now, as an insurance company, should I invent a telematics device, an OBD device, and go to the market? Or can I just pick up from one of the ecosystem players who's already done the homework rather than reinventing the wheel, basically tie the hands and come out with a product, an insurance product, which comes along with the telematics device. Similarly, in health, there are a lot of health tech companies who are coming with capabilities as well as services with tie-ups with various service providers, right? So looking at value-added services along with health insurance, the entire ecosystem of the National Health Initiative, NDHM, and what the government is pushing through Digital India on the healthcare side. How can insurance company, benefit from that and use that ecosystem is another one. The payment ecosystem is that. So the IoT ecosystem, the health tech ecosystem, the digital India ecosystem itself is also very important, like the Aadhaar system, the UPI payment system, the entire payment part of it. So today it's an integrated world. And it is all about aggregating the right things, picking the right things, bringing it all together, putting your value proposition, coming out with products and services. That is the play. So we are very much into it. It's not that something we need to do or we need to think about it. We are very much into it. We've already done something, and we have to keep looking out, keep reinventing, keep collating and collaborating with all these players and going to the market.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thanks, Dipak, for that insight. Let me introduce you to Arindam Mukherjee, who is the head of cloud business at Oracle. Arindam, welcome to this show of Technology Trendsetters.
Thank you very much, Babu.
How have you been seeing this transition, and how are you readying yourself into this entire cloud arena?
Sure. So I think Dipak actually said it pretty right that, and you summarize, it's a cloud way or my way type. And the license right, end of license right, a couple of very interesting points. And so what we did, we actually tried to look through the entire landscape of the way the first generation cloud providers have laid the infrastructure, have tried to look at the open source, have tried to look at the database, have tried to look at the end-to-end low-code, no-code platform, and just try to look back what possibly an Amazon tried doing somewhere in 2012, 2013 is that why you need cloud. And we started building something called a generation 2 cloud infrastructure. So many of the sales size processes, typical like a coding module as an example, which is very core tied to an insurance core part of it, has started making a beeline for a microservices way, where the third-party developers can drop an API and start pulling data to give you a code, which is in a huge way convenient for people like you and me who have been buying insurance for different kinds of purposes and need. And the second thing which you have also been seeing is that the AI and ML as a process for the digital claims has really been integrated. So things like autonomous data warehouse, things like the data science, which are kind of meshing along with your entire digital onboarding process. Third thing, what we are seeing is that the scale platform, scale protection offering, typically what you might not have heard about a couple of years back, like a cybersecurity insurance or a climate change insurance. Many of the cargo providers are kind of doing these massive module calculations to kind of arrive at a premium that you need to pay. That's the third thing what we are seeing while working with many of the insurance providers. And the fourth thing what Dipak talked about, that cloud is not an option. People took a long time, but the efficiency it brings in the form of the way you rewrite your infrastructure. You actually take a look at reimagining your entire business process. So cloud has become really native in the last couple of years. And the last one is that health insurance is really not an option. I would say that we have a strong health experience solution, I would say, and this is another from the application standpoint from our side. What we saw in the form of cloud is an experience platform that we can bring, because none of our generation 1 cloud providers really understand the applications the way we understand. So that's the piece that we really took it in terms of bringing an agile infrastructure which scales by itself. So in terms of the scalability and functional performance, what it can give is that any customer who is running a legacy application on premises, he can massively scale out and go to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure as is. We are working with many ISVs to make their application microservices put in on Oracle Cloud Platform on Oracle database, or it could be on MySQL, or our Postgre offering is coming. We are more open source than any other people that you can really think of.
So, Deepak, how have you been working towards putting this scalability towards your innovations and putting it into the trajectory of growth?
So, Babu, basically innovation, you need to give it a open freeway and not get stuck in the traffic of the regular day to day. So Tata AIG has invested in an in-house innovation lab and an in-house data science team, which basically keeps looking at these new tech capabilities and newer areas of working, and some in-house capability development as well. And then the enterprise tech team and the innovation team comes together in terms of integrating the current systems and processes with the new age technology capabilities.
I just wanted to check with Arindam, with the plethora of these kind of technologies coming up and changing consistently, how are organizations gearing up for rapid innovations in your understanding? How you are seeing the insurance company doing that, and how are you supporting that with your platform?
So there is no easy answer to that. Many companies in the last few years have gone to adopt multi-cloud because they acquired many clouds for different things, and they call it a multi-cloud. Today, customers are looking to define what Deepak mentioned, that many times innovation is coming in a bolt-in, and there are multiple frameworks which got to come together to support that. And that's where I think we come in to kind of give an industry framework, both from our application and the cloud portfolio, taking that seamless journey to the cloud.
Interesting thoughts, Arindam. Deepak, according to you, how are organizations mapping their infrastructure, mapping their technology to create a future-proof kind of data governance model, or a future-proof kind of compliance model in this entire framework of things?
Babu, Tata is synonymous to ethics, trustworthiness, compliance, and strong governance controls. On the data data governance part, there is a framework called as the TCSS data model, which the Tata Business Excellence Group within the Tata Group drives to assess all the Tata companies. And that gives us a score of where we stand. It also shows us a mirror. So in 2018, we did one exercise. We got a score that showed a lot of points to us, and we worked on it. My entire team got trained on the data model. And we did a reassessment in 2021. And happy to share that, we scored within the group as well as benchmarked against the insurance companies globally. We scored in the top quartile. The change was basically to give focus on, I can say, financial data integrity in one side with a proper data governance practice put in just for the financial data integrity. The other part is on the data quality side, enhancing the data quality, which is a challenge in the BFSI sector. So there is a strong focus on the data integrity part, the data security part, the data governance overall part, master data management, as well as the full data framework, and driven by the model which I call a data model, right? That's on the data and digital maturity model. And definitely we are looking at the new Data Privacy Act coming through, and definitely all the companies in India will have to comply to that. So data security is of the topmost priority for us any which ways. From a compliance and governance framework, we have our internal models, which are, I can say, business functions on risk, compliance, audit, the entire framework that the company operates in. Is there a technology play in there? There is, but not to that level that digital front end is. But definitely you have a compliance tracker, you have learnings from the compliance and audit flowing back into the product and services of the company, and improvement cycle, which is a never-ending, a cycle of improvement, continuous improvement that keeps going on.
What are those interesting trends that you have been seeing and you have been working upon in the recent past? And what do you see the trends towards the future now?
Tech-driven business and tech-driven products. I think there will be a lot more that you would see innovation coming through in the product side itself. The second segment that you would see is a lot of value-added services. Again, tech-driven value-added services that you would see. I'm talking purely from a tech perspective, right? So otherwise, anyways, product innovation will keep happening in terms of the regular line of businesses which are there. But you will also see a tech-driven line of business, with newer products, with greater awareness and data available about human beings, their health habits and their wellness. Health insurance will renovate. Looking at what is out there in the market, what risks are arising out of that, how the risk definition itself is changing, how the nature of the risk is changing with the changing methods and the changing products, the changing lifestyle and the ecosystem which is there out there, which is fast changing now. I mean, every 5 years, if you see, it's not the same word. Insurance will also have to, and it is doing, catching up with this and coming out with, these learning from that, from the data, and then coming out with products and services which will complement it and underwrite those risks which are more modern and new age.
Interesting. Thank you, both of you, for those insights. And we look forward to more such interesting conversation in the Technology Trendsetter series in the future with Banking Frontiers Live. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Banking Frontiers.